Hi, Monica. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Good.
So, last time we talked, there were a couple things that we left off on. I'm wondering, when in relationship to your marriage
Mhm.
and your dreams of starting this new beauty salon,
Yeah.
I'm wondering what is better since the last time we met.
Mm. I feel like it's still a little bit of the same. My husband still thinks that um he just doesn't appreciate me still, even though I've talked to him about my feelings. He still doesn't value me as a mom, as a full-time mom, and trying to start this business or being a business owner. Yeah, I'm trying to communicate that with him, and he hasn't been listening.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And Monica, I'm gonna let you know that I'm gonna be taking some notes while
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
talking, just so we can keep up and make sure that we're getting you what you need here, okay?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, good. So you said that you had some conflict with your husband. Can you tell me more about the situation?
Yeah, so we've been married for 4 years and we have a son, right? And it just feels like I am putting in a lot of the work at home. Like we both work, but it feels like I'm doing a lot of the home stuff, like with our son. And I just feel like he's not stepping up in the way that I need him to. Like I cook, I clean, and I make dinner and I clean up after our son, and I just feel like he just doesn't do anything. So yeah, he's not
Yeah,
help. Yeah.
that definitely sounds like a lot, especially if
Yeah.
you're not getting the support that
Yeah.
you need. Now, you said that you tried to communicate about this with him. How do those conversations usually go?
Yeah, they usually yeah, I just open up to him about how I'm stressed. I'm trying to manage things at home and my business, and he just kind of just says that it's my role as a mother, like, and I chose to have this business. So he said it's basically like my fault that I'm putting all of this pressure on me. Yeah.
Hmm. How do you feel when he says things like that?
It hurts
Agree?
because this is my dream to have a salon of my own, and I just thought he'd be more supportive. And being a mom, I love being a mom, but it's just, yeah, going into this business, I thought that he was going to support me and help out, but it's just, yeah, he hasn't been stepping up in that way.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, you said that that made you feel really hurt,
Yeah,
that he's kind of putting all of that on you,
yeah,
instead of giving you that support.
yeah.
What would it look like for your husband to give you support in in your ventures?
I think maybe just him like making dinner or offering to, while I'm cooking dinner, he'll be like, "Hey, like or I can do the dishes after." Just little things. I feel like that would make so much difference for me, whether that's taking our son out, to play at the park for like an hour so that I can do things around the house, clean up, or he could clean up, pick up after our son. I feel like, yeah, what I'm asking, I feel like it's not big, but I think he thinks it's such a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, so for him to help would be helping out
Yeah.
with food, helping out with
Yeah.
even clean up after food, helping out with your son. Uh,
Yeah.
but you feel like it's not that much, but he feels like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
I want us to think about maybe one example of what he does do to support. Sometimes when we feel like everything's on our shoulders and we're not getting any
Yeah.
help from the people we care about,
Yeah.
sometimes when we can pull just one nugget of something that they are helping with, we can
Yeah.
use that in our communication with them to
Yeah.
expand. So, what's one thing, if you had to think,
I
that he
have to think.
does help with?
I think he is a good provider. Like he has a good full-time job that he's in construction, so that has been really helpful. Like he's had that career for as longer than I have been working at the salon, so he's definitely a good provider and he brings more of the money home. So I think he's good in that way. He works hard for the money, to give us this life that we have here.
Great. That
Yeah.
that is definitely not nothing, right? That's
Yeah.
definitely something that helps out. Maybe in the next conversation with him, you can start from that. Have you ever started from the point of, hey, thank you so much for everything you do. I know you work hard to
Yeah.
provide. Have you ever started a conversation with him that way, or is that something you could try?
No, I haven't, but I think that's something I could definitely try is yeah,
Yeah,
going starting off like that. I think that'll help.
great, Monica. How would you feel about trying that approach with your husband and then journaling about how it went so we can talk about it in our next session?
That'd actually be really good. I think I can do that.
Good.
Talk to him. Yeah.
Oop, sorry, Monica.
You're good.
Ooh, my office light has a
Yeah.
mind of its own. All right. So I'm going to put in our notes here
Yeah.
to follow up on your journal. Um, Gratitude and journaling. Okay. So now I know we also had some issues with coworkers. I'm
Yes.
wondering how the past week has gone with some of your coworkers. Anything to report?
Oh, since the last time we talked, nothing really. We're still kind of butting heads and still, yeah, nothing's really changed since the last time we talked. Yeah, I still feel like I'm just like, not to be mean, but I'm just, yeah, surrounded by idiots who don't know how to like, um, yeah, I don't know how we can work better together. Like there's three of us, are the me and two other who are managers, and it just feels like we can't agree on anything business related.
Oof. Yeah, and then when that's your place of business,
Yeah,
at the very least, you want to be able to come to terms on most things.
yeah,
Yeah. Man, okay. So in these conflicts with
yeah,
your coworkers, you said that you feel like you're surrounded by idiots.
yeah.
Is this something that you've expressed to them? Do you speak to them in that way?
No, I don't. But yeah, no, I don't. But I do make it known how I feel around them, but I don't call them idiots to their faces.
Yeah, okay, okay. Just checking, just checking. We could work from wherever you're at.
Yeah.
Um, hmm. I mean, do you feel like, yeah, I guess I'm wondering. So that's the way you perceive them. You say you're
Mhm.
surrounded by idiots. How do you think
Yeah.
they perceive you?
Um, Hopefully they don't think I'm an idiot, but I know that, oh, that's a good question. Yeah, maybe they don't think that I'm pulling my weight as much, or like, yeah, I feel like they probably think of me the same way that I think of them. Maybe,
Mm,
yeah, that we all could be doing more for this business.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, well, thank you for offering that insight.
yeah,
I'm not at work with you, so it's
yeah,
hard to say exactly what's
yeah,
creating this. But I think we could definitely dive more into that question of how you perceive other people and then how other people perceive you.
yeah,
And then determining, is this how I want to be perceived by
yeah,
the people I work with?
yeah,
And and in addition to that, what type of communication can improve both your perception and their perception to
yeah,
reach more common ground? I
yeah,
know you're working hard on getting your new beauty salon open.
yes, yes,
And part of that will be, continuing to practice healthy communication
yeah,
and problems and conflict resolution. So we'll definitely pick up on that next week.
yeah,
Yeah. So we'll have that conversation with your husband,
I
journal,
will.
and however it goes, Monica, however it goes, whether it goes the best conversation you've ever had or it ends up in a huge blowout,
Yeah,
just know that that's okay and that we
okay,
can we can work from there wherever you're at.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
All right, Monica. Thank you so much for your commitment to meeting
of
with
course.
me again today. And
Thank you.
yeah, I'll see you soon.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.